This Wimbledon White 1965 Ford Mustang convertible is ready to drive in your next hometown parade. The restoration was done in the late 80s, early 90s on this really solid Mustang convertible. .289 V8 engine, runs excellent, detailed nicely. It does have the GT trumpet horn dual exhaust coming out of the rear tailpan. Bottom side of the hood and stuff's painted just like the exterior of the car. This car, when it was done really nicely. It was just done 30 years ago. So if you look around the edges, you can tell it's lacquer paint. You can tell it has a few scratches and scuffs and stuff like that. But the overall appearance at 5 foot on this car is excellent. It runs great, looks great. I really like the white on white with the white top, and the white top is a power top, and that works perfectly. As we look at the front here, the bumpers and the horse and corral with the GT fog lamps, all the chrome is in excellent shape on that. It's got the bumper guards on the bottom. As we look up and down, the hood gap is really nice on the passenger side. Fits nice and smooth here. It sits up just a little bit here in the back. Yeah, and it pushes right down. So I'm guessing our hood hinges on the back are just getting a little bit weak there on the spring part. Gap all the way across here on the driver's side is great, and that fits really nice there at the back. So just over in the passenger side hood spring needs to be adjusted a little bit, or maybe replaced. As said before, this is not a show winner, but it's an awesome driver condition car and very solid. If you go to our website, www.coyoteclassics.com, you're going to see the undercarriage of this car, which is super solid. Frame rails look good, torque box looks good, floor pans and stuff. Anything that needed new pans or reworked was done. It was done very professionally, in my opinion. As we look across the hood here, we do have a couple little light scratches in the hood. Other than that, it looks good. Front fender in front of the wheel looks excellent. No chips or paint issues there. We have a couple little chips here, just very, very small. The main thing is rust, guys. If we look down here, no bubbles down here in that lower fender. Mustang emblems, GT emblems all look good. We do have a paint run right here. You can see this along this edge, right along here above this, right? Our gap looks good. It's a nice tight gap from top to bottom, but it's nice and even. And they really line up nice. The door lines up nice with the fender there. The same thing back here. Door lines up nice. Got a nice even gap, top to bottom. Lines up well there. No blisters on the back part of the door, and I don't see any in the front of the door. We got that paint run up there, way down low. Other than that, that's all I see. Rocker molding is excellent, no blisters there. We have a tiny little blister right here. That's in front of the rear wheel. Lower rear quarter is perfect. Over the wheel well is perfect. Don't see any blisters there at all. The top is stretched very nicely, goes up easy, and you don't have to force it real hard to get it closed. So whoever did the top did a really nice job there. The chrome around the back for the top and stuff is in good shape too. It's got the correct GT exhaust, got the correct GT gas cap. Chrome around the taillight stuff. It's got the original Ford taillights in it, and that chrome is original and it's very presentable. It's not all pitted up like a lot of them at all. You can just see that, like I said, with older restoration, the black in here is just starting to fade out just a little bit. Another thing on these Mustang convertibles, check this out, how tight all those windows go up on those gaps on that convertible. So that's all tight. Door opens and closes nicely. Fits nice and tight against this rubber here. As far as our jams, same thing. The door jams and stuff were done at the same time as the rest of the paint, but the door jams are not quite as nice anymore as the rest of the paint. As far as our seat covers goes, there's a seam split over there in the driver's seat cover that would need to be restitched or seat cover replaced. As far as the seats and stuff go, though, they're very presentable. Passenger seat's good, back seat is good. Carpet was replaced back then during the. I think the carpet was replaced more recently than the late '80s. I'd say. I think the previous owner did that in the last 5 years. Dome light works on it. Also, our console light works. This is a factory 3-speed car, so it's got the full console, which the console's in fantastic shape, but it's a 3-speed and not a 4. Dash pad is in great shape. I don't see any real waves there or cracks. It's nice and warm in here. The heater works great. As far as the interior stuff, we're going to need some paint work done on these interior panels, the hard metal panels. They just need to be resprayed. The paint's getting a little thin on them. Door panels real decent, presentable, but again, it's older. Window cranks look good. Original AM radio works. Some visors are in great shape. Rear view mirror is nice. We look at the inside of the top and the inside of the top bows. All the top bows were painted nice when it was done. The top pads are all excellent. So they did a nice job there. As far as our trunk gap goes, that fits really well there. Nice even gap here as well. There's probably going to be a few little scratches, and it's kind of hazy right now, so not everything sticks out. So there's going to be a few scratches and stuff that I didn't see or any point now. But like I said, the paint job's 30 years old, so to be show quality, it needs to be repainted. But it's got a very straight body and a great looking paint for a driver. As far as the rocker goes, nice and solid. Lower fender's excellent. There is a couple little blisters, not in the back of the door. That's all nice and clean, except for we got a little paint chip right here. But we have some very, very small blistering right at the very bottom here. You can just see some tiny ones right there starting in here, and then one right there. Door handle chrome is good. Here again, look how nice and tight that fits right along here. These windows are really in nice adjustment here. Body is 76A, color is M, trim is 22, date is 24H, DSO is 53, axles 3, trans is 1, which is standard, 3-speed. This car did come from the factory as a T code, so like I said, it's a GT clone, but it does have the 5-bolt wheels front and back. Door panel is just a little wrinkly right here. And I did mention that you can see that seam split here. It needs to be re-sewed or put a new cover on it. Oh, this heater works great. Temperature gauge works, gas gauge works. Horn is not working. AM radio works.
I can't remember how he adopted it.
So original radio works. Horn does not work. Wipers are working. and they park. I'm not 100% sure. It's got the disc brake pedals, guys, on the clutch. I need to check and see if it's got disc brakes in the front or not. I'm not saying. I need to check and pull a hubcap. Not sure on that. Does have a power top though, and like I said, that works perfectly. This little Mustang really runs nice. It's got a nice sound and dual exhaust. It's got a lot of power. Shocks feel good. Really a nice solid Mustang convertible. Does not need an alignment. The front suspension feels like that goes down the road nice. One finger on the wheel, goes straight down the road. Here's our brakes. And they stop you right now, no pull left or right. Here's our synchro up in second. Still 289, has a lot of power, it really runs well. Transmission shifts good. The speedometer seems right on the money at 65 mile an hour right now. Very little wind noise in here being a convertible. It really is nice and quiet inside and handles the road great. A lot of car for the money here, guys. Older restoration, but still a beautiful turnkey driver.